Good evening and welcome to the campus of Montgomery Bell Academy, where tonight, Big Red play host to Father Ryan High School. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney, and from behind the Crest, Owen Dougharty with you on the call tonight. And Owen, Father Ryan tried to win at MBA for the first time in 25 years here tonight.
Yes, and it's a big night, especially both teams, both coming off some heartbreaking losses, especially Father Ryan in overtime for the first time in 11 years, at JP2. First time, I believe, since 2007, and such a heartbreaker to watch the ending of that game.
Yeah, it was definitely a heartbreaker for the Irish, to be sure. Losing in overtime, having a chance near the end of regulation with a field goal after they fell just short. Waiting the coin flip at midfield with both teams. Father Ryan's lost the coin flip every week except for week one, and in every occasion the other team has chosen to defer. So the Irish don't typically receive the opening kickoff, but for the past 3 weeks that's been what's happened.
Definitely Coach Rector's style of play, as we all know, is to defer to the second half when he wins a coin flip. Hopefully maybe we see that tonight. Maybe we see a change in the difference of the game. We don't know. We will find out, though.
Discussing things at midfield here, so we'll see as they... Okay, it appears MBA won the toss and deferred. So Father Ryan, for a fourth consecutive week, will be receiving to start the game. So not necessarily what the Irish had game plan-wise, but that's going to be nevertheless how it's going to start.
Hey, you have to game plan for the coin toss sometimes. And I think they'll be used to coming out on offense first. Maybe we'll see some things going our way here today.
MBA 3-1 on the season, lost last week here to Memphis University School. That was a game that MBA led at halftime, 7-6. They had a long weather delay, and it was a tale of two halves in that one. MUS is able to come out and be successful with its passing attack in particular. I anticipate a defensive battle here tonight between these two teams. All-time series, MBA leads at 50, 26-1.
We'll get right back to that after the national anthem.
We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast Behind the Crest. So with the national anthem complete, both teams ready to run in from their respective sidelines. MBA coming in from the left end zone, Father Ryan from the right end zone. Irish second consecutive week, and the Stormtroopers all white. White helmets, white jerseys, white pants, and white cleats.
I got to say, I like the combination, Lou.
Meanwhile, MBA has a big banner that says, "We're not rivals." We'll see about that tonight as the Big Red take the field.
And this is chaos at its finest, as I'm seeing in front of me. Man, that is special.
It's a warm night here in Nashville, unseasonably warm. Be about 88 degrees at kickoff. That was the expectation. As a few minutes ago, it was 90 degrees, but caveat to that is that it is somewhat windy. So it's worth making note of that. As I was going to say before they started the national anthem, NBA leads the all-time series 50-26 with one tie. Irish last beat, and here come the Irish.
Here we go. You hear the drums beating from the other side of the field. Loud and proud here tonight, the Irish faithful.
Father Ryan beat MBA twice in 1997. One was a home game at Vanderbilt. One was the state championship game also at Vanderbilt. If you can believe it, there was a 2-year span where these teams didn't play each other. 1995 and 1996. There were a lot of people on both sides that were not happy about it. I hope you can hear us. We're open air here, and it's a noisy atmosphere here.
What you were hearing is the horror music to the horror movie The Purge. So I guess it's getting pretty intense down there to our right, down below us. The junkyard, as they call themselves.
I was going to say, I saw a few of the things that they mentioned on social media this week. So NBA will, after all the rigmarole, but, well, if you can hear me over the speakers down there. NBA prepares to kick off. This game is supposed to start at 7 o'clock, be a little bit later than that, just the reality of it, all the pregame. Alex Massaud is the kicker. He's about to start things off here for NBA. Back deep to the Irish, Parker Erdman and David Ward. And we are underway here in Nashville. Kickoff will go into the end zone for the automatic touchback. Irish will begin 1st and 10 from their own 20.
I think we'll look to see if the Irish can get the inside game going first. And also, what I've noticed on a couple of the drives, Coach Rector and Coach Tavo have not been afraid to go deep to David Ward early in a game.
That's what the Irish struck with last week against JP2. A pass that quarterback DC Tabscott threw with anticipation. Ward was not open when the ball left his hand, but he was by the time it arrived. And it was a long touchdown. So the Irish will start their first offensive possession with a 3-receiver look.
Got some last-minute substitution coming in. Only 3 on the play clock.
Well, this is not the way the Irish wanted to start things at all. They're going to delay a game, it looks like, unless they said to reset they'll reset the play clock for whatever reason.
Something just wasn't right there.
Well, Jadarius Lee came out of the game. So on 1st and 10, Tabscott's going to.
Oh my gosh, he's open!
Seamus O'Connell wide open to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Into the end zone, touchdown, Irish.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure how he got that wide open. And here they come. The fight song is playing. This is a good sign early.
This is the exact opening Father Ryan wanted. I mean, if they couldn't win the coin toss and defer, first play from scrimmage, 80-yard touchdown pass, Seamus O'Connell. It's almost frighteningly wide open. Sometimes that can go a little bit awry, but Seamus did good concentration. Had one defender chasing after him.
Wow. I wish we had replay. We're going to see replay right here. We have it in front of us.
You've got it on a delay there to see on that screen. You can see number 13 for NBA trying to chase down O'Connell, but no chance on that one. Hold is good. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So just 15 seconds into this one here at NBA, and Father Ryan leads 7-0. Worth noting, into this game, NBA 3-1 on the season. And while they did lose to MUS, and MUS is a Division II AAA team, the reality is that those West teams, when they play East/Middle teams, those games don't count as far as for the playoffs.
So what I can tell from what I just saw, it looks as appears Seamus went an out route. The slot receiver ran the down and out, the 5-yard down and out. Cooper Maddox, the safety for NBA, did not pick up Seamus O'Connell. The corner and the safety both went after the slot receiver, and Seamus was left wide open.
And that's how we got with the extra point to 7-0 Father Ryan, just underway 15 seconds into this one. Cooper Maddox did not play 1 week ago against MUS with a foot injury. So a little confusion for NBA. And in a game that I've anticipated would be a defensive battle for both sides, Father Ryan
comes out striking.
Strikes first, throwing deep. Tabscott with that strong arm, although as wide open as Seamus was, the ball just had to get there, at least in the general range, to pull it in.
This is an interesting formation on the kickoff.
And they're going to go for the onside kick, and that was not good at all.
I think just might be a little too antsy there.
Irish are trying the surprise onside kick.
Not sure what the point of that was. You just got a lead, and now you're just giving good field position. I kind of question the play call there.
Well, you figure if you're Father Ryan, if you can pull it off. I mean, the problem is that kickoff went 3 yards.
Yeah.
So not
if you
ideal.
can pull it off, then great. But that was a little weird for me, Lou.
So it didn't work out for Father Ryan on the kickoff, but the Irish lead 7-0. 11:43 to go, first quarter.
Let's see if the Irish defense can hold early.
Quarterback for MBA, number 15, William Tyrone, a 6'1", 170-pound junior. Decently accurate thrower, and he's a threat to run with the balls. They're going to go with the jet sweep on 1st and 10, cutting toward the outside. And that's Ty Herbstreit on the run.
Yes, on the Grayson Hubbock there, waiting for the jet sweep, made the catch and the tackle of Herbstreit.
You know, Hubbock played pretty well last week. All season long, he's been a pretty solid defender. Number 12, the junior. That sets up 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard gain by Herbstreit. 11:17 to go, first quarter. Father Ryan leads MBA 7-0. The left tackle for MBA is Jackson Lampley. He's a verbal commit to go to the University of Tennessee next year. So on 2nd and 4, MBA, since it's Myers, H-back in motion, it's going to set up to run to that far side. And it should be enough for a first down. Patrick Wilk on the carry.
Strong run to the left side there. They brought in the jumbo package.
10:51 to go, first quarter. Father Ryan leads MBA 7-0.
Got to be careful, Lou, if you're going in the jumbo package, because no safety out there. We saw last week sometimes that can be, the run-pass option can be very deadly. Thankfully, I don't think there's as much of an option offense.
So with 14 seconds on the play clock, 10:30 to go, first quarter. MBA steps to the 37-yard line, or 32-yard line of the Irish. A little trouble with the snap. Tyrone's going to keep it himself. Dodge one tackler. He's going to be close to a MBA first down on that far sideline.
No real struggle moving the ball here early for MBA. You got to look out for the play action.
Irish nearly got a stop in the backfield, but once that did not turn out well for the Irish, Tyrone picked up 9 yards. Not a first down, though, as the ball is at it's inside the Father Ryan 25. The marker looks like at the 23-yard line. 2nd and 1 MBA. 9:57 to go. First quarter, Father Ryan leads 7-0. And this season, NBA has been a team that has gotten out to leads. I mean, they led MUS at the half here as well 1 week ago.
Well, right now what I'm saying from NBA, just running the ball, obviously. Hasn't done the ball yet. But I think with Father Ryan being a little bit more undersized than NBA, it's our front seven is better than your front seven. And I think that's the battle they're going to try to win early.
Cole Carr leaves the game, their left guard for NBA. John Indom back up in there on this 2nd and 1. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Irish can make a tackle, and that's going to be a first down. Hubbock on the stop for the Irish.
No success yet. That was a huge hole that opened up.
So Brendan Harris on the carry. .29 to go, first quarter. Father Ryan scored 15 seconds into this one. 80-yard touchdown bomb. DC taps got to Seamus O'Connell. NBA, they go double tight end, as they're prone to do, with 2 receivers to the far side. They're going to split the running back out to this near side. That's Harris. Tyrone, the quarterback, is going to keep it himself on a designed run up the middle. And it's a touchdown for NBA.
No penetration from the D-line at all on that line. Not looking good early for the Irish defense.
So in a game that some thought might be a defensive battle, we're less than 3 minutes in and both teams have a touchdown.
Offense is the show.
Now last week on the extra point that would have made it a one-possession game late against MUS, there was a problem with a hold. It was a failed extra point. NBA ended up recovering an onside kick, but they were out of time. It didn't matter by that point, so we'll see on this. The hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick splits the uprights. 9:04 to go here in the first quarter. Your score, Father Ryan 7, NBA 7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. 9:04 to go first quarter. Father Ryan 7, MBA 7. Both teams scoring on their initial offensive possession of this game. So after one play, 80-yard touchdown pass, Tab Scott to Seamus O'Connell. It was a solid dose of the run from NBA. And then punching into the end zone for the Big Red. So 7-all, 9:04 to go first quarter.
Scoring update out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Brentwood Academy playing
out of Toronto.
Toronto, up early, 7:39 in the first quarter, up 3-0. We'll give you more updates on that game as it's a multinational affair going on.
This international
south
incident.
of Nashville.
Yes. That Toronto team's 0-3. I mean, they're just trying to get experience to find somebody that'll play them. They play a lot of teams out of Pennsylvania, Ohio, as I understand it, but making the trip down here to play BA. So now MBA will kick off for Father Ryan on the return. So will not reach the end zone. Will be very close. Looks like it's Ward from the 5. Cuts back.
Oh, no.
And he stopped at the 10.
No real blocking out there. Them NBA boys were running with steam to make the tackle. Just barely shy of the goal line, too, on that kickoff.
It actually would have worked to Father Ryan's favor had it been a touchback.
The automatic touchback rule.
Yeah. If Ward would have stepped away from it and let it go in, but try to make the return and make a play happen. Didn't happen, though, for the Irish. They'll start just outside of their own 10-yard line to begin this drive. 9 minutes even to go first quarter. Father Ryan and NBA tied at 7.
We'll see what happens here. See if Father Ryan will go deep once again.
1st and 10 for Father Ryan. It's a 3-receiver look to this near side. Send Seamus in motion. It's going to be a handoff. It's Antonio Wright up the middle, turning his legs for maybe a 6 or 7 yard gain. Good second effort there by Wright.
The pads are popping, and I can hear it.
Oh, yeah, both of these teams. NBA's got a stout front 7. Player in particular to watch out for. They've got linebackers. I hate to even call it inside or outside because they switch it up quite a bit, but Jackson Hanna, number 34, is the guy to watch. A verbal committed to play at Nebraska next season. 6'2", 220.
We'll see what Scott Frost has recruited here shortly.
Well, Father Ryan now looking at a 2nd and 2. 8:25 to go first quarter in a tied game. Flag. It's a throw. Interception. NBA. And it's a pick 6. Hugh Sullivan with the interception and the touchdown. There's a flag on the play, so we'll wait and see what that was, but in all likelihood that was against Father Ryan. Well, there was a sideline warning against MBA. I don't know if that's what the flag was. They typically don't throw a flag when it's just a warning like that. So perhaps that's with the touchdown.
I think it has to do with the student section. I'm not sure. I saw some hand gestures towards the junkyard. I'm not really sure, Lou. Interesting call.
A tough one though. Sullivan jumped the route. Tab Scott didn't see him. A little bit too much air on that pass, perhaps. And so for all the excitement Father Ryan had with a quick touchdown, NBA with a rushing touchdown and then a defensive score. Extra point is up. Went past the scoreboard on the right side. So it's 14-7 NBA, but still very early. 8:17 to go here in this first quarter. Father Ryan tries to get his first win here at NBA since 1993. And I think for the Irish coming out in this next drive, you may see them try and establish the run a bit more.
I think we will too. Antonio Wright had a good run, but this secondary is obviously a lot better than the secondary they saw last week, which they had struggles with.
Well, and that's true. And as we noted with Maddox being back for NBA 1 week after missing a game due to injury. But it was Sullivan, a 6'3" senior, with a pick 6 for NBA. That makes it 14-7 NBA. About to kick off now to the Irish. 8:17 to go here in this first quarter. And for some of the late arriving fans, not the easiest thing to get through downtown Nashville this time of day.
Or to navigate this campus.
Or to find parking on this campus.
You would think with a parking garage under your soccer field you'd have enough parking, but no. I had to park on the streets.
Well, it's a high demand here. I get that. It's a rivalry game. I don't care what their banner said.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, not according to half the people here.
And the kick is off spinning. It'll go well into the end zone for a touchback. So Father Ryan will start its next offensive possession, 1st and 10 from its own 20. 8:17 to go first quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 14-7.
I definitely think we'll see more running presence, but you can't shy away from the passing game because, yes, you do have a young quarterback. Yes, this is probably, the biggest game he's going to play this year is for him in this atmosphere, in this one of the oldest rivalries in this city.
The 78th meeting between these two schools in football. So we're looking at 1st and 10 for the Irish from their own 20. 8:17 to go first quarter. We get a whistle. The play clock at 6 seconds to go, so it wasn't a delay of game, but it might have been we'll see. It's against Father Ryan, whatever the case, 5-yard penalty.
The first 15 seconds have passed, Lou, and from there it has not been pretty.
Well, NBA's managed to counter punch and then get the lead off the pick 6. So some sort of a procedure penalty against Father Ryan. 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 from the Irish 15-yard line. They need to reach their own 30 to get a first down. It's going to be a 3-receiver look, 2 to that far side. Antonio Wright moves to the left. DC Tapscott, it's a handoff. Antonio Wright cuts through. Another 3 or 4-yard gain on that one.
Not much moving up there. Not really opening. Antonio Wright making the best of what was up there.
Approaching the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 14-7. Irish looking at 2nd and 12 after the 3-yard run.
I wonder, Lou, if, we saw Tapscott keep it late in the game last week, if we'll see more of that today in the option.
4 receivers for Father Ryan on the 2nd and 12. Tapscott's going to throw. Receiver screen to the near side. Far side, I should say. Seamus O'Connell keeps his balance. He'll be tackled at the, looks like 24-yard line. So a 6-yard gain on the receiver screen to Seamus O'Connell sets up 3rd and manageable here for the Irish.
Yeah, and I think another big key this week is how much Seamus O'Connell is going to play on both sides of the ball, and if they can keep him from cramping up like he did in the end of the game last week.
And cramps are a concern. An 88-degree temperature at kickoff. This is not.
It is humid, too, up in this box.
I was going to say, it's definitely humidity is a factor. So 4 receivers for the Irish on this 3rd and 6. 7:10 to go first quarter. NBA leads 14-7. And out of the gun. NBA only brings 4. And you can see Tapscott run with it. He's get to the 30. And this thing's about a half-yard shy, or maybe a full yard, depending on the spot.
I'm impressed with Tapscott there. He had some vision. He was smart enough not to get himself hurt or force it. But that was a good run. I think that's his best.
Heads up. They're going to go to the line. This could be a fake to try and draw NBA offside. This could be a fake. Could be a pooch punt as well. They're going to send Nick Watson in motion to this near side. And they're going to send Antonio Wright to the outside. 18 seconds in the play clock. They're just trying to get NBA to jump, it looks like.
I will say, DC only a sophomore. He doesn't have the most commanding voice on the team sometimes. And sometimes you just need that to get that jump.
It was really 4.5 yards the way the marker is set. Of course, we're looking at it at an angle. But it'll be, in a 14-7 game, if you go for it and don't get it, that gives NBA great starting field position. Again, they've only had 1 offensive possession. It started in Father Ryan territory after the botched attempt at the onside kick after the early score by the Irish. So Father Ryan took a timeout there as opposed to taking a 5-yard penalty. So it's a 4th and very short. You would figure Wesnowski would be setting up to punt, although not a given. You never know. They're looking for scores a little bit later. 1 week from tonight, Father Ryan plays at Ravenwood. Ravenwood tonight's got its concentration on a rival, Brentwood High, another team on Father Ryan's schedule later this year. So that'll be going on with your scores as those become available. Macaulay at Innsworth, also Baylor at JP2, and that team from Canada.
Score update, no score update. Well, still 3-0, but 1st and goal, BA with 4:49
Irish
left.
Go for it on 4th down, and he's going to break away. Is that Antonio Wright? Past midfield, Wright. Antonio Wright with the first down. And so the Irish roll the dice 4th and short. For a moment, it looked like Wright might be stopped near the line of scrimmage, but managed to break through, and a nice first down for the Irish.
Seamus coming in there on the Wildcat. I think that definitely, usually when Seamus comes in on 4th down at quarterback, it's usually for 2 things. It's for 2 things: some kind of trick play or pooching it.
Well, he's adept at both. So the Irish are in business now in NBA territory. The ball is at the Big Red 37-yard line. 6:05 to go first quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 14-7.
David Ward running off the field.
Yeah, Ward's going to be spelled by Bryant here on this 1st and 10. Richard Bryant moving into position. Still 24 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time. And with this 3-receiver look, it's a handoff. Antonio Wright. And he'll be brought to the ground for maybe no gain or a half-yard gain at most.
You know, I don't understand. I think we might see a little bit more of Seamus at Wildcat or someone more Wildcat. Maybe you see Antonio and Anthony back there. I don't know. But that might have to happen if Father Ryan's going to open up the run game, because with DC just not being a true run threat, sometimes it's hard to get that running game going against a very stout front seven.
Well, and if you're Father Ryan, you want to get MBA's safeties to cheat in, try and stop the run. I mean, you have to establish the run to do that. So 2nd and 11, they'll say a half-yard loss for Antonio right on that first down play. Tabscott throws to the near side, too high, intended for Bryant.
Good job by Bryant knowing that if that's overthrown, good job to tip it out of bounds anyways. Risking an error interception. Good heads-up play.
5:16 to go, first quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 14-7. It's 3rd and 11 for the Irish. Just a flag on that far side. So let's see what this is. I looked down at the referee a half second after he finished gesturing. It looked like
it was a decline penalty, I believe.
Yeah, they didn't blow the play dead.
Really not sure what's going on here, Lou.
Maybe they'll, well, whatever the case, it appears they were, okay, so whatever the penalty was, looks like maybe a procedure-type penalty. Something that didn't cause the whistle to be blown, wasn't a false start, but it doesn't matter. NBA declined. 3rd and 11 for Father Ryan.
Tough being here. If you don't get to the 30, you're kind of in no man's land here for Father Ryan.
I figure this is 4-down territory right here, and the Irish know it, but so do the Big Red. So on 3rd and 11, with 3 receivers, Tabscott flush from the pocket, on the roll. He's going to throw deep. This could be a mistake, and it's intercepted.
He threw off his back foot across his body. Just one of those mistakes. I think they ruled it incomplete, though, but still just one of those sophomore mistakes.
Cooper Maddox was right there, when able to bring it in for NBA. That was not the best decision on the throw. Although, if he would have caught it, it's almost like punting and pinning him back. Nevertheless, 4th and 11 for Father Ryan, 5:08 to go first quarter. NBA leads 14-7 in what has been a very explosive first quarter. And with the ball at the NBA, we'll say 43-yard line, looking at 4th and 11, Father Ryan's lining up to go for it again.
Well, like I said, Lou, this is no man's land.
We have a flag. The
delay of game.
We have play clock at 0.
This is bad game management so far. They've gone down. There's been some weird substitutions, some penalties. Honestly, I'm just a little confused. They look a little rattled.
Well, and you would think the way they came out and got a touchdown on the first play of the game, the 80-yard touchdown bomb, Tabscott to Seamus O'Connell.
Seamus O'Connell is back in at quarterback on 4th down yet again.
You figure he would probably be in line to punt it right here, the pooch.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. It's going to be a spinning kick, land at the 15. Take an Irish bounce, kind of get there, keep it out of the end zone, no. So it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Seamus nets 23 yards of the punt.
Just 3 yards too close, Lou.
Yeah, it was a good effort right there. No return for NBA, obviously, as it went into the end zone. So 1st and 10, Montgomery Bell Academy from their own 20-yard line. 5 minutes even to go here in this first quarter.
Score update out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Brentwood Academy now up on the Toronto Prep Academy, 10-0.
Yes, technically it's West Toronto Prep. I don't want to being flippant about that school, but you come down here from Canada, you don't play in Canada. I don't get it. But, hey, it's international expansion of the game. They play American football in England, and just so how it goes.
Titans play this year, I believe.
Yes, they do. And it's not a home game stolen from them. You can believe that. So 5 minutes to go on this. Yes, it is. 1st and 10 NBA from their own 20-yard line. They're going to throw the behind the intended receiver. It's complete. A tackle by Hopkins after the reception. Ty Herbstreit. And now move the chains for NBA.
First passing play for NBA's big success.
Well, in quarterback for NBA, William Tyrone, he's a fairly accurate passer from what I've seen. Now, he will make some mistakes, but who doesn't? But this is an NBA team that likes to run the ball primarily. They don't have just a ton of receivers they cycle in. They keep most of their guys in there. It's Mendoza and Ty Herbstreit to the far side. A double tight end look on this 1st and 10. A run up the middle. And a whole host of Irish there to stop any forward progress. Past maybe a 2-yard gain. And it was Patrick Wilk on the carry.
You heard, I think Nick Watson was in there leading the charge of the host of Irish.
players like Watson for Father Ryan tonight will be tested as far as playing both sides of the ball. It's different from the way it's been earlier this year. Father Ryan playing against these teams that seem like they have guys playing both sides quite a bit. Not the case for MBA, although it's interesting to me that William Tyrone goes to the sideline every play to get the next call. It's almost like something you would not typically see. So 2nd and 6, it's going to be another run up the middle. Maybe a 3-yard gain on that one. Brendan Harris on the carry.
3rd and 1 again. I imagine we're going to see a big, heavy package here up the middle.
Harris had a 20-yard touchdown run in the first half last week for MBA in their loss to Memphis University School. 3:33 to go first quarter. MBA leads Father Ryan 14-7. The Big Red looking at a 3rd and 1 from their own 48-yard line. And with 17 seconds on the play clock, I was talking about Tyrone going to the sideline. He's back in now, but now they're looking at 13-12 seconds on the play clock as they line up. They'll spread out 2 receivers with the Big Red to the far side. Irish are ready to stymie the run. And it looks like he got the first down. The quarterback Tyrone on the QB keeper design play. 3-yard gain or 2-yard gain. Ball right at the 50-yard line. First down, NBA.
I think what we saw there was the difference in the front sevens right there. NBA just has the oversized advantage on those short plays to push off more.
See, I don't know, though, because on the near side, because, yes, on the side that Lampley, the big left offensive tackle is going to the University of Tennessee, I get that. But on the right side, the Irish seemed like they were there. It's just the reality is that Tyrone's has good field vision, saw he could cut to his right and got the first down on a 2-yard gain. 1st and 10 NBA, 2:39 to go first quarter. They lead the Irish 14-7. Merriweather, the tight end, gets sent over to that far side to hooks up the blocking. Run up the middle. Irish having trouble making a tackle. Brendan Harris has another first down for NBA.
Tough to start the run game. Let's just hope they don't get the passing game going soon.
So Harris able to slice through there. A couple of Irish defenders looked like had a chance at him. So 2:18 and counting first quarter. Father Ryan trailing NBA 14-7. And for those of you that just joined us, NBA won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, so they'll receive the ball. Irish scored 15 seconds into this one, but since then, NBA has been in control. They go to the I formation. Tyrone under center. Another handoff to Harris, and he'll be stymied. Stopped at the line of scrimmage and no more. And it looked like that was Anthony Wright in there on the stop, number 15. Yep. So a 2-yard gain for NBA with Harris on that carry. Minute 47 to go first quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 14-7. And again, Tyrone comes to the sideline. Marty Uverard, the head coach at NBA, who was an assistant at Father Ryan the last time the Irish won here 25 years ago. I've known Coach Uverard a long time. So 2nd and 8 now for NBA at the Irish 31-yard line. And again, NBA, as they like to do, they'll go with that double tight end look. Zach Herbstreit, sophomore in there. It's going to be his brother, Ty Herbstreit, on the jet sweep. They'll be stopped after maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain, maybe closer to a 5-yard gain depending on the spot. And that's going to set up 3rd and short now for the Big Red. 1:10 to go first quarter.
You reckon Kirk's in the crowd tonight, or you think he's already off the game day?
Oh no, I bet he is. If you saw what Kirk Herbstreit had to do opening week for college football, it was just back and forth ping pong. He ended up down in Chattanooga. I was able to see he's got 3 sons on this team, the twins that are seniors, and then Zach, the sophomore. I got a ton of respect for Kirk Herbstreit, best color commentator in the business, and I will hear of no other. But
I think you might be the best, Lou.
Well, on play-by-play, brother.
Oh, yeah,
Third and 3, 42 seconds and counting first quarter. I'm not anywhere just because it's Kirk Herbstreit, though, and he preps like crazy. So it's going to be another handoff. It's a run up the middle. Should be a first down on the second effort by Patrick Wilk. Didn't get all that far beyond the 27-yard line that he needed to reach, but he did so. But no, it was crazy, though, because Kirk Herbstreit was like up in South Bend getting ready for one game. Flew down, flew back, it's just all over the place. I mean, ESPN gets as much as they can out of it, and rightly so. He's very talented. But in this case, he's just another dad watching his kids play. So now with more time, they'll say they're just going to let the clock continue to run down. The play clock hasn't started for whatever reason. 10 seconds on the game clock, and that's going to do it for the first quarter, it looks like. So a quarter that started very hot for the Irish, and NBA the counterpunch on its first drive, then a pick 6, and that leads us to where we are now. After one quarter, your score, Montgomery Bell Academy 14, Father Ryan High School 7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. So we start the second quarter here. Campus of Montgomery Bell Academy, Tommy Owen Stadium. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney here with you on the call. Working with the crew from behind the crest as well. Owen Dougharty be joining us back in this broadcast here in just a little bit. So now Father Ryan defensively try and find a way to get a stop against this MBA offense. It's had 2 possessions, scored on its first, and the second took it all the way down from its own side of the field as there's a whistle. And again, another substitution. Torrey here, and this is the second time, if not the third time in this game, seeing players have to make a quick substitution late. And that has been a point of emphasis this season, I should add. As far as you can tell, last season it was the sideline warnings. It's almost like in baseball, the umpires get a new talking point every year. So on 1st and 10, Tyrone's going to hand off. Maybe a 2-yard carry on that one for Wilk. Maybe been Dylan Timmons in there on the stop. Couldn't quite tell. It was a big blur of white jerseys. Let's say Amari Chapman. Now expecting Chapman in this game, but David Russell, the senior, on the other side. Father Ryan, that 3-4 defense with 2 defensive ends. Chapman on one side, and then Russell on the other. Irish hoping to get a push from Chapman, especially when he's lined up not against the University of Tennessee, Lampley, but against Ned Freeland on the other side. 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain for MBA. It's going to be another run to this near side. So it's Sam Dugan, his first carry of the game. Nick Watson on the stop there for the Irish. So a 3-yard gain sets up 3rd and 4 from MBA. They have the ball. Father Ryan's red zone, spotted at the 16-yard line. They need to make it past the 12-yard line of the Irish to get a first down. So with 15 seconds on the play clock, late substitution for MBA. Their quarterback, Tyrone, finally gets the call. He's going to have to pick up the pace, 8 seconds and counting. We have a whistle. And this may be an NBA timeout right here. Indeed. With only 5 seconds to go in the play clock, and that's the disadvantage. I mean, the positive, of course, you send your quarterback to the sideline, get the call, and there's not any mistaking or signals getting mixed up or whatever. The downside is you've got Tyrone, the quarterback, running back and forth, and then on top of that, there's the time that runs down. So in that case, it was a distinct disadvantage for MBA. Next week for Father Ryan, we'll be playing at Ravenwood for the first time ever. Ravenwood 4-0, taking on Brentwood High, another opponent on Father Ryan's schedule at 3-1. But it's Ravenwood next week, and you know that they're going to want revenge after last year's incredible victory for the Irish on the Jackson Bird fake field goal touchdown run that'll forever live as far as Father Ryan football lore goes. So 11:13 to go in the second quarter. NBA timeout continues. NBA, and they play a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, or one side or the other. They don't double up much at all, but they don't substitute much either. And on a hot, humid night, well, it remains to be seen how much of that's going to come into play. So 3rd and 5 now for NBA. The ball at the Irish 16-yard line. And they love their tight sets. You don't see it that much at the Division II AAA level, but it works for NBA with their offense. They're blocking. It's going to be a handoff. So Wilk running up the middle, and I don't think he got there. But there's a flag on the far side, so hold everything. If it's against NBA, Forrest Engler on the stop. So a procedure penalty against the Big Red. And the question is for Father Ryan, they will take the penalty versus they had the stop. But they'd rather set up a 3rd and 10 than a 4th and short closer to their goal line. So calculated risk on that one for the Irish. 11:05 to go, second quarter. The clock stopped. Only 10 seconds on the play clock coming out of that timeout. It's a 3-receiver look. 2 to this near side. Bring the up man for blocking purposes. Tyrone's going to get flushed from the pocket. Irish are going to make a tackle. He's going to be well short of the yardage he needed to get a first down. Dylan Timmons, the linebacker, sophomore, on the stop there for the Irish. Sets up 4th down and more than 5. So 4th and 6. Alex Masad, the 5'9", 160-pound senior, lines up to give MBA a 2-possession lead as they have a player come on late. Again, as noted, it was trouble holding the snap on the extra point last week against MUS that prevented MBA from cutting it to a one-score game late. A little trouble to hold. Got it in place, though, when Massad's strong leg kicks it through as the music comes blaring in here. So 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go second quarter. NBA has extended its lead by 10, 17-7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. So we prepare for kickoff here on the campus of Montgomery Bell Academy. Father Ryan, after going out to a 7-0 lead early, has seen NBA hang 17 points consecutively on him. And the Big Red prepare to kick off. One score update. McCauley leads Ensworth 9-0. That game taking place in West Nashville. So Massad's going to get a leg into it. A deep kick. Go well into the end zone, no question on that one. The automatic touchback. First and 10 Irish from Father Ryan's own 20-yard line. NBA leads 17-7. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in this second quarter. Father Ryan could use a long, sustained drive here by this offense. Easier said than done, though, against this stout NBA defense. David Ward will be the receiver to the near side. Maybe Erdman in the slot, either him or Watson, can't quite tell. Antonio Wright, the running back. Antonio Wright's going to get the handoff. Tries to make a move, does, but he's got 5 or 6 Big Red defenders right there swarming around him. And at most, maybe a 1-yard gain. Indeed, it was Erdman there in the slot. I love Father Ryan's good uniforms with the 8s and the 9s. Sometimes a little tough to discern, but we got it together on that one. Jaden Johnson comes into the game at wide receiver. Jaden Johnson's a sophomore. Father Ryan uses that ensemble-type cast with his receivers. All the 4 and 5 receiver looks. It's 4 receivers for Father Ryan on the 2nd and 9. Tapscott sets up the receiver screen, complete. About a 5-yard gain on that one. So it was another screen to Seamus O'Connell. Father Ryan trying to get O'Connell, the senior, involved with this offense as much as possible. He's such a dangerous weapon for Father Ryan. We saw in the very first play from scrimmage the 80-yard touchdown pass. So 3rd and 5 now for Father Ryan, approaching the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. And NBA leading Father Ryan 17-7. 4 receivers. Tapscott flush from the pocket. He's going to run with it past the 25. Has the first down. DC Tapscott uses his legs to move the chains for the Irish. Or check that. Somebody say it was actually Seamus in there. They pulled the switcheroo. Might explain why. I was going to say Tapscott looking about as nimble as I've seen him, but Irish are not shy about putting Seamus O'Connell in there at quarterback. Even just run regular quarterback-type plays as he did last season, or the bulk of last season. 8:40 to go second quarter. Some trouble with the snap, and the Irish are going to have to jump on it. Couldn't quite tell what happened there. Antonio Wright came for the recovery. So a 4 or 5 yard loss for the Irish will set up 2nd and 15. 8:24 to go, second quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 17-7. The Irish are hoping to be able to bounce back from that heartbreaking overtime loss 1 week ago against JP2, but thus far they find themselves down 17-7, approaching the 8-minute mark of this second quarter. A flag comes in. There were 9 seconds to go on the play clock, so that's not it. This might be another procedure penalty against the Irish. So we'll say false start or illegal procedure. So Father Ryan's been going in the wrong direction since getting its first down. Now looking at a 2nd and 20 with the ball at their own 24-yard line. Irish need to get the ball all the way to their own 43 to get a fresh set of downs. David Ward, the receiver, to the near side. Parker Irvin, the near side slot receiver. And it looks like the Irish still have Jaden Johnson in there on that far side slot. So 4 receivers. Gonna run with it. Maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain right there. They put Seamus back in at quarterback. Irish will mix things up, give you different looks, things that you haven't necessarily seen before, even if you watched all of their games. So the Irish now looking at a 3rd and 14, 20 seconds on the play clock, 7:19 on the game clock here in this second quarter. NBA leads by 10. 3rd and 14. And we have a whistle. There were 10 seconds to go on the play clock. I don't see any penalty flag, so I don't think that's what it was. So Father Ryan wanted a timeout right there. Think about it a bit more. On 3rd and 14, the ball at the Irish 29-yard line. 7:06 to go, second quarter. And what was such a promising start for Father Ryan after opening kickoff for NBA was a touchback. First play from scrimmage. DC Tapscott, the sophomore quarterback with a rocket arm, uncorked one. Confusion in the secondary for NBA had Seamus O'Connell about as open as you will ever see Seamus O'Connell. He managed to make the catch, evade the pursuing defender for NBA and score, but since then, it's been a pair of touchdowns, including a pick 6 and a field goal for NBA. So 17-7, NBA leads Father Ryan, 7:06 to go, second quarter. Father Ryan looking at 3rd and 14 from their own 29-yard line. Seamus, there's a flag on the play, throws it away. David Ward was in the vicinity. They left Seamus in there on 3rd and 14, hoping his running ability might alter NBA's defense, perhaps. But there was a flag on the play anyways. It'll probably be a holding call that NBA is going to decline. Indeed. So, see a flag thrown in that vicinity, that's usually what it means. I'm not sure if Seamus saw that flag and knew it was wiser to just throw it away or what. Father Ryan's offense stalls after getting 1 first down. It'll be Zach Wesnowski back to punt. Cole Kreider, 6 foot, 182-pound senior, back to return for the Big Red. NBA's looking like they may bring some pressure on this one. Indeed they will. Wesnowski gets off a spinning end-over-end kick, takes an Irish bounce inside the 40 of NBA. We'll roll dead at the 37-yard line. So a good punt there by Wesnowski. NBA came close with that pressure. They brought the heat. They had a punt block for a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Macaulay. Macaulay made a lot of turnovers in that game too, although I haven't seen the entire game film. It's interesting with NBA, looking online, prepping like I do for every game, they actually had the videos turned to private on Huddle, which is sometimes my go-to place. Now, I know how to work things. I worked in TV news for years. I've learned how to find things. And so I found the highlights, and I know what's going on for them, but it's just interesting to see it that way. But for NBA at 3-1, and a 17-7 lead, 6:50 to go second quarter, they're going to start from their own 40, or check at their own 37-yard line. Herbstreit will come in a little bit from the far side to block. Flag comes in. It's probably going to be against NBA. Grayson Hubbock on the stop. Sam Dugan on the carry, but again, this may be coming back. It's going to be against NBA. We'll wait and see. Always look for that lead official in the white hat. Be the one to tell you. So holding against NBA at the 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And that's going to send the Big Red way back. They'll all be spotted when it's all said and done at their own 25-yard line. They need to get to their own 47 to get a first down. So 2nd and 22, 6:33 and counting second quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 17-7. It's going to be 3 receiver look. 2 to that far side for NBA. Tyrone in at quarterback. Going to hand it off. Good job by Father Ryan's defense to stuff that one. Looked like that was Heron in there. Torrey Heron, the freshman nose guard. Not particularly tall, but very stout. also say Dylan Timmons in there as well. 2 or 3 players making the tackle. Timmons, a sophomore, very productive from a tackling standpoint. At a position that Father Ryan is very young at linebacker. Their front seven's very young, aside from David Russell, it's the senior. So second down. And okay, the scoreboard confused me. It was going to be a keeper by Tyrone, but Father Ryan blew it up. Matthew Beacom on the stop. Beacom, a junior, listed at 6'3", 190. He's one of the taller players in this defense. Irish make a substitution. Amari Chapman to the game as they send Troy Herron to the sideline. David Russell line up at that nose guard position. A little bit of a different look. Irish have Beacom on this outside. Manned up with the receiver. It's a play fake. Tyrone has some time, throws. Grayson Hubbock's there. And it falls incomplete, goes out of bounds. Intended receiver, Noah Mendoza. Now, Mendoza is a dangerous player. Haven't seen much from him thus far in this game. Very good at the slant pass from what I saw, a deep threat, but Father Ryan able to stymie them there. So 4th and 22, 4:49 to go second quarter. MBA leads 17-7. Cole Kreider, he returns punts and he punts the ball. Meanwhile, the sophomore Parker Erdman will be returning for Father Ryan, but we have a whistle. NBA may have taken a timeout. Oh no, it's going to be a timeout for Father Ryan. Wow. The clock had already stopped at the incomplete pass. The Irish clearly wanted to speak things over. That was their last timeout, so Father Ryan out of timeouts for the duration of this first half. NBA leads 17-7. 4:49 to go in the second quarter. Pretty good turnout here for Father Ryan looking at that far side. But space in downtown Nashville in the West End area where we are here. Not exactly tons of real estate for parking and getting around, but fans from both sides, parents and supporters managed to make it in. So once again, we will set up for an NBA punt. Cole Kreider standing on his own 15-yard line. Parker Erdman to return for the Irish. His heels on the Irish 34-yard line. The Irish may bring some pressure here, at least showing it. Always a bit of trouble with the snap. It's a high sky punt. Erdman calls for a fair catch and makes it at the Father Ryan 35-yard line. So Father Ryan ended up bringing some pressure. Good job by Kreider to get that punt away. Father Ryan with pretty good starting field position for once. Here's they'll have the ball spotted yet, right at the 35-yard line of Father Ryan. That's where offense will come back out on this 1st and 10. DC Tapscott back in at quarterback. The Irish mixed it up a bit with Seamus O'Connell in there on a couple of plays. Antonio Wright is the running backs. 3-receiver look. It's a handoff. Antonio Wright tries to get to the outside. His legs cut out from under him. Cooper Maddox on the stop. So no gain for Antonio Wright. Sets up 2nd and 10 for the Irish. Less than 4.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Father Ryan taking its time, finally getting the call in from the sideline. Erdman in the near slot. David Ward in the near slot. A late substitution, Noah Haley over to the sideline with 13 seconds on the play clock. And then bringing Nick Watson as an extra receiver. That's trips to the near side, and we have a penalty flag. Appears it was against the Irish. There were still 4 seconds on the play clock, so that wasn't it. So another procedure penalty against the Irish. Father Ryan facing a defense that you don't want to give anything cheap or any freebies to. A couple of penalties that made things difficult. So Father Ryan looking at 2nd and 15, less than 4 minutes to go. It's a jet sweep. This could be a pass. Seamus O'Connell tripped up, quite literally. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Lou, what we saw is, the jet sweep was there. It was a jet sweep option pass, and it just wasn't there. They had David Ward sent down the field, but he was very well covered.
And certainly, NBA has seen on tape what happens if you allow Seamus to get to the outside like that.
It's dangerous.
Capacity to still throw the ball, it most definitely is dangerous. 3:20 and counting second quarter. Father Ryan trails by 10. They're out of timeouts. The four receiver, looks like some confusion from that running back position. Tabscott is going to throw it away. That could be intentional grounding. It was in the vicinity of David Ward. NBA brought the house and got the pressure to force the incompletion.
Well, they did rush 5, and it was enough right up the middle, on the freshman on the line, and it just didn't work out too well for them.
The Irish, the right tackle is a freshman to right, Jadarius Lee. So 4th and 15. The clock stops, 3:03 to go here in this second quarter. And Kreider standing at his own 40-yard line. Wesnowski sets up to punt. And again, NBA will receive the ball to start the second half after deferring following the coin toss. Play clock was at 0 and it was up at that. Wesnowski gets it away, a skying punt. Kreider has to step away from it, takes an Irish bounce inside the 30, inside the NBA 25, keeps on rolling. The clock keeps on ticking. And they'll finally down at the NBA 27-yard line. 2:50 to go, second quarter. Father Ryan trails 17-7.
Well, Lou, it's been a stalemate for other than that NBA field goal here in the second quarter so far. A pretty good battle if you just looking at this quarter so far.
Once both teams settled in, I think this is more the deliberate pace, the defense stepping up. The pick 6 for Father Ryan very much hurt, obviously. But NBA has had the advantage on the starting field position, especially after that onside kick that just completely failed and gave the Big Red, through no effort of their own, starting field position on their first offensive series inside Father Ryan territory. On this one, they'll start their own 23, 1st and 10. The two receivers to the near side, a 10-point lead. And they'll send Merriweather, the tight end, in motion to this near side. You got to watch him on a block and then going out to pass. But it's going to be a handoff.
He's staying up too long. I don't think we'll see anything too fancy from the NBA here. They'll just try to see what they can do running the ball, run the clock out into the half, and maybe hopefully get our field goal for the Big Red.
NBA has 2 timeouts, Father Ryan 0. Patrick Wilk on the carry on that last play. NBA is going to spread them out. You got to watch the 2 receivers on this near side. And again, Merriweather in motion, presumably to block. Instead it's a play fake, a throw to the near side, complete. Forced out of bounds by Hubbock.
Unfortunately, weren't able to keep him in bounds. Now the clock stops and they have to use a timeout, and they got a first down.
Ty Herbstreit on the reception. Let's put the ball right at the 40-yard line of the Big Red. 2:05 to go, second quarter. Father Ryan trails 17-7. Been some gusting winds from time to time tonight. Nothing of note, and it's hot and humid.
Yeah, to me it feels fantastic.
So we'll split out running back. Tyrone's going to keep it. That's a design quarterback keeper. Father Ryan sniffed it out. Tackle after maybe a 3-yard gain. Looks like Dylan Timmons in there. Matthew Beacom was nearby from the linebacker position as well, ready to make the stop if Timmons hadn't been able to. They'll still say a 4-yard gain. So 2nd and 6. The clock runs. Minute 45 to go, second quarter. NBA leads by 10, gets the ball to start the second half.
Even though Father Ryan is down, the clock running definitely works in their favor if they're able hold them here in this series.
And particularly because the Irish have no timeouts, so it's not like if they get the ball back deep in their own territory, they'd be looking to do much. Merriweather, the tight end, in motion to that far side. It's a play fake. Tyrone's going to throw deep, has a receiver there, and it's incomplete. Nick Watson was there about a half step behind Ty Herbstreit. Herbstreit couldn't bring it in after making a catch earlier in the series.
Herbstreit had beat his man, and it hit him right in the breadbasket, and he dropped it.
So the Irish catch a break there as that play fake was pulled off rather effectively. That's the dangerous thing with this NBA offense. They're very adept at running the ball. including Tyrone, the quarterback. So you have to stay true to that. 10 seconds on the play clock. Minute 17 to go in the game clock, second quarter. NBA 17, Father Ryan 7. With 2 seconds to go in the play clock, we have a whistle. I think NBA is going to take a timeout here. And indeed, Marty Uverard, the head coach of the Big Red, wants to talk things over with his team. So minute 15 to go here in this second quarter. And Father Ryan down by 10, but if they can get a stop on this third down, can at least prevent NBA in theory from making any more points on the board before any halftime adjustments can be made.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll see anything that Coach Rector will try to do, anything special really. I think the best thing for the Irish, get out of this half. It's not been terrible, but defense needs a break, and just get out, regroup, come back with an adjusted game plan. One thing this coaching staff, Coach Rector's coaching staff, is so fantastic with is how they make adjustments, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And already you've seen some adjustments from the first 2 drives, especially against the run game. NBA's had to go more to the pass game here, and especially on this drive.
And that's with the limited time remaining. 1 timeout now for NBA. A minute 15 to go, 3rd and 6 from their own 44-yard line. But you're right, though, Owen. It's the halftime adjustments that are often quite critical for the Irish. NBA has to get the ball to the 50-yard line to get a fresh set of downs. They'll send the running back in motion to that far side. It's going to be Tyrone keeping it himself. Jackson Brown got a hold of him, and it appears to be about a half-yard shy, maybe a full yard shy. They'll spot the ball at the NBA 49-yard line. So a 5-yard carry sets up 4th and a long one for NBA. The clock continues to run. Irish can't stop it. NBA looks disinclined to stop it. NBA is all too well aware of what can happen near the end of a half. 2 weeks ago at Macaulay, Hail Mary pass that was tipped into the end zone, the lone score that Macaulay had in its first half. So on 4th and 1, Tyrone goes under center. The Irish move to the neutral zone. And Father Ryan just handed NBA 5 free yards and an automatic first down on 4th and short. Kind of mistakes you cannot afford to make against a team that you've not beaten at their school since 1993. 36 seconds to go, second quarter. Father Ryan down by 10, trying to keep NBA out of the end zone. The Big Red with 1 timeout remaining. And even if they keep him out of the end zone, the reality is that for NBA, their kicker, Massaw, it's got a pretty strong leg. Merriweather, the tight end, moves in motion to the far side. He'll be blocking to set up the rollout by Tyrone. Tyrone throws the ball. It's complete for a first down. The 32-yard line, it looks like. Cole Kreider on the reception.
21 seconds left. Let's see what NBA does here.
Get NBA 1 timeout. They're going to clock the ball here. Tyrone slams it into the artificial turf. The ball at the 32-yard line. I imagine they're slightly outside of the range of what you would think from Massaud, although perhaps near halftime they would roll the dice if they can't get anything else on the board.
Well, I think what you have time for is you have 2 short plays, maybe 1. You call the timeout, you send the field goal unit on here.
Well, and that's where for NBA having that
work the near sideline.
But as you know, the middle of the field is open, so they can throw over the middle, and the clock only stops temporarily to move the chains. But that's where you had that last timeout. It's 3 receiver look, 2 to the near side on this 2nd and 10. It's a play fake. Tyrone going toward the end zone in double coverage. Seamus is there, and it falls incomplete. And it was Merriweather, the tight end. He is so dangerous. Doing push-ups, trying to get himself back up. So close, but not quite there. 12 seconds to go, 3rd and 10 NBA from the Irish 32-yard line.
Once again, they had a nicely thrown pass. Hit him in the hands again, just not able to come down with it. 2 Irish defenders closing in on him.
You could tell Seamus trying to get him there on that near side, but Merriweather's a tough target. Look, he's listed at 6'2", 245. To have wheels like that at 245?
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, props to him on that. 3rd and 10.
It's not easy to tackle someone.
They send Brendan Harris, the running back, out to try and open up the run up the middle for Tyrone, and he'll only get maybe a 2-yard gain. And now we'll get the clock stopped with a timeout for NBA, their last. So it looks like NBA picked up maybe 2 yards, about 2 yards on that one. They'll have the ball at their own 30-yard line. You would presume in this situation, Owen, that now with NBA using its last timeout here, and 11 seconds to go in the half. They're going to line up Alex Masad and see if he can hit from 47 yards out.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here. I think that's obviously the smart choice, but then again, this game has shown that it can be unpredictable.
Fifth game of the season for both teams. MBA at 3-1, Father Ryan at 2-2. And again, next week for Father Ryan, it's non-league play, but it doesn't get any easier with Ravenwood playing host to the Irish.
Going out into Williamson County for the first time this year, Lou.
That's right. That'll be the first of
two trips.
Two trips there, playing at Brentwood High.
Who are playing each other tonight.
That's right.
Ravenwood and Brentwood playing each other tonight. Ravenwood, of course, Coach Rector has coached there before, won a championship there. You know, I think they're still a little bitter about the fake field goal.
Well, hold everything here. Their NBA's lineup, they're not going to go for a field goal. They're going to try and heave one deep, it looks like. 4th and 8, they could get a first down to stop the clock. They're going to play fake, and it's going to be a sack. Anthony Wright from the outside. Clock should stop on the change of possession, although they finally. The play was dead with 5 seconds to go. It really doesn't matter because Father Ryan probably would have taken a knee. So, whatever the case. You see the Irish talking over there on that far sideline. Hold everything.
The NBA thinks it's halftime. Father Ryan says they've got a second left.
Well, here's the thing. Anthony Wright made the tackle with 5 seconds to go on the clock. On 4th down, when the tackle is made, it's not a first down. You stop the clock. But in this case, they continued to run to 0, so I don't know. They may get it by. It's just going to get Father Ryan taking a knee in all likelihood anyway, so nothing to get too upset about. The kids are out there trying to play
Father Ryan's lined up to play football.
Yes, they are. Neither team with any timeouts. It says 20 minutes on the clock. I assure you that's not the time remaining in this half. Should be 5 seconds, maybe 1 or 2 seconds fewer. We'll see.
5 seconds.
We'll say 6 seconds. So for Father, I think they're just going to take a knee here. This may have actually been beneficial for them to just let that clock hit 0 and not complain about it. Indeed, it will be DC Tapscott taking a knee.
You know, I think it's just that actual NBA had been walking. I don't think if they had been walking, then Coach Rector would have just let it go. But sometimes when you do that to just irk an old rival.
Possibly, or could have been the official said it. Whatever the case, gets us to halftime. Your score, Montgomeryville Academy 17, Father Ryan High School 7. We're going to take a break and be back on the other side of this halftime here on ATW Sportscast. So we approach the end of halftime here at Tommy Owens Stadium on the campus of Montgomery Academy. Hey everybody, Lou Pickney with you here. Let's broadcast high school football. 5th game of the season for Father Ryan. Irish trying to get their first win here at this stadium in 25 years. Halftime score, NBA leads 17-7. NBA will get the ball to start the second half as they won the opening coin toss and deferred. Father Ryan struck first in this one. First play from scrimmage, 80-yard touchdown throw. DC Tabscott, Seamus O'Connell somehow got wide open. But then it was a botch on the onside kick attempt that gave NBA starting field position in Ryan territory. NBA got a rushing touchdown, then a pick six soon after. On one more field goal, and that's how we're at 17-7, NBA leading Father Ryan. Zach Wesnowski set to kick off for the Irish. See NBA come to play up a little bit as they're expecting a possible pooch. At the half, JP2 leads Baylor 7-0. Playing that one up in Hendersonville. And it is that intermediate length pooch kick to the far side, fielded at the 23 to the 25, and stopped on the 32-yard line of NBA. That's where the Big Red will start its first drive of the second half. 11:55 to go, third quarter. NBA 17, Father Ryan 7. So here the CBS college football theme song, one of the all-time great theme songs of any broadcast anywhere. And I'll hear a no otherwise on that fantastic song. So 11:55 to go after the kickoff return to the 32-yard line of NBA. And that is where William Tyrone under center will start first and 10. Handoff up the middle. Brendan Harris on the carry. Hubbock on the stop for Father Ryan from the defensive back position. But it's an 8-yard gain for Harris on that one. Let's see Tyrone run back into the huddle for NBA after getting the call from the sideline. On what's been a very hot and humid night here near downtown Nashville. Still 83 degrees right now. And it's 8:32 Central Time. So on 2nd and 2, another handoff to Harris. He has a hole, kicks it to the outside spin move. Flag comes in late, and this may be holding. It was enough to reach the 45-yard line, which would have been a first down, but I anticipate this is a hold. And yes, holding is the call, so maybe 10 yards, I should say, from the spot of the foul. Instead of 2nd and 2 from their own 40, NBA will be looking at 2nd and 2. Back to the original line of scrimmage, back to the 32-yard line. So 2nd and 10 for NBA. 11:11 to go, third quarter. The Big Red leading the Irish 17-7. Irish in that 3-4 defense. They've got the linebackers, the outside linebackers up on either side, including Anthony Wright on this near side. A quick throw, a high pass, incomplete, intended for Cole Kreider. Hunter Hopkins was there behind him, but no chance on that one from that throw from William Tyrone. That sets up 3rd and 10 for NBA from its own 32-yard line. Some other scores of note at the half. Ravenwood leads Brentwood High School 14-7. McCauley up 23-0 at Ensworth. Ensworth came in 3-1 on the season, but it looks like they may drop their second Division II AAA East-West game, East Central game, I should say of the season. Brentwood Academy up 34-0. So on 3rd and 10, Tyrone, after the play fake, is going to throw downfield, has a receiver open, complete at the 50. And he may be gone. That's Patrick Wilk, and he'll get into the end zone. A missed tackle for Father Ryan with a running back out of the backfield. And it's a 68-yard passing touchdown for NBA. NBA had well enough for a first down as it was, but inability to bring down Wilk, and that's been a struggle from time to time this season for Father Ryan tackling. So it makes it 23-7 MBA. The clock is still running. They're going to have to stop that. Referees blow a whistle. So if MBA hits this extra point as they're lining up to kick it, presuming to do that and not go for two, that would give them a 3-possession lead on Father Ryan here early in this third quarter. Anything about Father Ryan, they were looking at 3rd and 10 defensively. MBA with the ball in its own territory and a chance to give its offense a chance to do something here early in this third quarter. But 68-yard touchdown pass. Patrick Wilk, only a sophomore, 5'10", 165. Got into the open field. Managed to beeline his way toward the far corner of the end zone. They're going to have to reset the clock to whatever the proper time was. Indeed, they'll reset the clock to 10:41. Also, they're still trying to get it figured out. Nothing untoward going on. They're just trying to get it right. Be interesting to see what happens in the final in that Baylor JP2 game up in Hendersonville. Baylor loses, they fall to 1-4 on the season. So the extra point, Alex Massaud, and that strong look, the kick is up, and it's good. 10:46 to go, third quarter. Your score, Montgomery Bell Academy 24, Father Ryan 7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. .46 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan now trails MBA 24-7 in a game the Irish led 7-0 early, just 15 seconds in. The long touchdown pass, Tabscott to Seamus O'Connell, but since then, it's been MBA scoring in a variety of ways. Sustained drive that started inside Father Ryan territory. The first offensive possession the NBA had in this game got the touchdown, then a quick pick six, a field goal, and then a long touchdown pass. Add in the extra points, and it's 24-7 NBA, and the Irish find themselves in a hole. It's a deep kickoff from Massaud. Now set Father Ryan up yet again for 1st and 10 from its own 20. A reminder that in Division II AAA, every team makes the playoffs, but this regular season play sets up some key home field advantages and first-round buys and things of that nature. That's well on down the line. For the Irish at 0-2 in Division II AAA, need a comeback to avoid falling to an 0-3 hole in league play. I'll see. Oh, and a hard hit. I was going to say a jet sweep to this near side. Got blown up quickly. So Graham Holzapfel on the stop. Parker Urban on a jet sweep loses 2 yards. 10:20 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan trails MBA 24-7. The Irish will go 3 receivers, an H-back and a running back to the front left and left respectively of Tabscott. Tabscott's in trouble. He's going to holding penalty against Father Ryan. Better just throw this one away. It's a completion. Seamus O'Connell on that far side, but the holding penalty will bring that one back. So another penalty against Father Ryan. Although in that case, that was probably for the best. It looked like Tabscott was about to get waylaid. It looked like it may have been Darius Lee, the right tackle. Got a handful of jersey. So now, right even at 10 minutes to go, third quarter, it's 2nd and 25 for Father Ryan from its own 5-yard line. The Irish trail by 3 possessions. And we get another whistle. This one's an official's timeout. NBA switches some of its players around. It's two safeties from either side, Sullivan and Maddox. Maddox moving to the near side. Irish for that same H-back blocker. Try and open up some running room. But just not much there, about a 2-yard gain on that one. Antonio Wright on the carry. There's Kanayo Fedele, number 35, 5'10" senior on the stop. 2-yard gain for Father Ryan, looking at 3rd and 23. 9:31 to go, third quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 24-7. Irish are going to go 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Try and spread out NBA a bit. Tapscott under pressure, heaves it toward the near sideline, just throws that one away, avoiding a safety. A flag comes in late. That may be a late hit. That could be a personal foul penalty against MBA, and you see Tapscott get up and point in that direction. So if it is a late hit against MBA, the officials are going to walk it off. Irish were at their own 5-yard line. And one of the rare things in high school football compared with the upper levels, an actual automatic first down that really is an automatic first down, a personal foul. So on 3rd and 23, on a throwaway, a late hit gives the Irish new life on this drive. 9:13 to go, third quarter. NBA 24, Father Ryan 7. A handoff, and NBA's all over it. Hedges Hayworth in there, I saw, at least on this near side. They had a few players around. And Marion Ford, his first carry of the game. Ford, one of several freshmen that plays regularly to semi-regularly for the Irish. But on that one, a 3-yard loss for Ford. But he had nowhere to go. You really can't hang that on him. 8:44 and counting, third quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 24-7. The Irish trying to make something happen from deep in their own territory on this 2nd and 13. NBA brings 5. Tapscott rolls out, throws to the far sideline, pops up and out of bounds, intended for Michael Linehan. Jake Herbstreit there on defense. Jake Herbstreit is a senior, as is his twin brother Ty Herbstreit. And then they've got a younger brother, Zach Herbstreit, a tight end and a sophomore. So 3 of Kirk Herbstreit's kids on this NBA team. 3rd and 13, 8:29 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan needs something to happen here on this 3rd and long, down by 17 points against NBA. Big Red brings some pressure, thrown up for grabs, and nearly brought in by David Ward. A good job defensively by NBA to knock that one away. Like Hugh Sullivan in there. Sullivan had that pick 6 earlier for NBA. And we look at NBA secondary. Jake Herbstreit, senior. Cooper Maddox, senior. Hugh Sullivan, senior. And on and on. Nick German, senior. My point in saying all that is it's a very senior-laden in defense for NBA, particularly in its secondary. And they got 2 seniors on that front 3 on defense as well. Kreider standing at his own 50-yard line for NBA. It'll be Zach Wesnowski punting. It's a wobbly punt. Take a bounce, go right at the 50-yard line into NBA territory, roll a little bit. And the Irish will finally pick it up at the NBA 46-yard line. So a good job on the punt there by Wesnowski. The coverage team gets down there to ensure that there isn't a return. NBA will start its next drive in its own territory. NBA leads Father Ryan 24-7. 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go, third quarter. And again, plus 80-degree temperatures, but very humid. And Father Ryan having more players playing both sides of the ball than NBA, that would seem to work into the advantage of the Big Red. Be a handoff on 1st and 10, cut to the outside, cutting through. A first down, slicing through the Father Ryan defense. Patrick Wilk on the carry. William Edmondson for Father Ryan, the sophomore free safety. Had to come and make that tackle. MBA with some success running the ball. 7:35 and counting, third quarter. MBA leads Father Ryan 24-7. Tyrone goes under center. Be a handoff again to Wilk. They'll get maybe 4 yards on that one. It may have been Grayson Hubbock in that far corner position in there. Couldn't quite tell. Torrey Heron as well from the nose tackle position. Another freshman on this team for Father Ryan. Getting varsity playing time. We reached the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 24-7. Big Red have the ball at the Irish 35-yard line, looking at 7 and a short 6. Two receivers to the near side. And that's going to be a heavy dose of the run again. NBA just slicing through. Irish having trouble making some tackles. Still up. My goodness, Father Ryan having trouble bringing him down. Late flag. And Brendan Harris just slicing through Father Ryan's defense with impunity. Harris comes up a little bit limp. He'll come to the sideline. Patrick Wilk will come in for him. Wait to see what this penalty flag was. Face mask. Boy, the referee's making sure with the sideline official on the call. So it's a face mask against Father Ryan. So tack on half the distance to the goal after the run. Ball will be at the Irish 5-yard line. NBA knocking on the door. The Big Red lead 24-7. Think back the last couple of years. Last year was a tie game with less than 2 minutes to go between these two schools. 2 years ago, Father Ryan led 10-7. Less than 8 minutes to go in that one. This one a different story. NBA leads by 17 and they're knocking on the door again. Here's Wilk running up the middle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Montgomery Bell Academy. And that puts NBA up by the score of 30-7. 6:13 to go third quarter, and it's not looking good for the Irish. And it was a promising start. First play, 80-yard touchdown pass, had the Irish excited, but ever since then, it's been NBA in control. Clean snap, good hold, the kick is up. And the kick sails well beyond the goal for the extra point. So that makes it 31-7. NBA leading Father Ryan. So still technically a 3-possession game, but 24 points. That's 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions just so they want to tie it up against the team the Irish have not beaten in more than 20 years. I mean, it looked like Father Ryan was starting to stymie the run just a bit on NBA, forcing him to throw the ball that might switch to the Irish advantage, but not the case. NBA, they don't cycle in the receivers that much. They're not like Father Ryan with the ensemble cast, but they do shuttle in plenty of running backs, getting those fresh bodies out there. As the second half has worn on thus far, it seems rather evident those fresh legs are working to the advantage of the Big Red. Ward and Erdman, the deep men to return for the Irish, although only one kickoff for NBA thus far tonight has not reached the end zone, and that was by like a half a yard. And Alex Massaw gets a boot into it, spinning kick. Will bounce into the end zone, touchback. So once again, Father Ryan will start 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line. 6:13 to go third quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. Last word from the Ensworth game, McCauley leading Ensworth 23-0. Ensworth coming up as Father Ryan's homecoming opponent. Of course, the Irish at Ravenwood next week, but won't have a chance to get back home after that. We should have more information about homecoming next week for you on the Irish broadcast from Ravenwood. So Father Ryan looks 1st and 10 from its own 20. They trail 31-7. It's going to be a run, and NBA selling out against the run. Like in Tecmo Super Bowl, getting your play picked, you have no chance. Antonio Wright with a loss, but NBA just daring Father Ryan to not run it up the middle. 4-yard loss on the play. 5:53 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan trails 31-7. Another three-receiver look for the Irish, two on this near side. Trying to spread at MBA, but MBA still got 7 in the box with a safety creeping up as well. Good protection for a moment. They're setting up the screen, and it is Antonio Wright past the 20, past the 25, slipping through. Good play on that one by the Irish. Roughly a 10-yard pickup there, setting up third and manageable for the Irish. They'll spot the ball at the Irish 27-yard line. Third and a short 4 for the Irish. 5:03 to go, third quarter. And NBA leading 31-7. Again, a three-receiver look for the Irish on this 3rd and 4. NBA teases the outside linebacker blitz, and with 5 seconds to go on another penalty against Father Ryan's offense. I'm going to say it wasn't a delay of game, but it was a procedure penalty of some sort, a false start. It's almost like what JP2 was doing last week. Finding themselves getting penalties called for procedure reasons. I know the Irish, when they go back and watch this on tape later, will not be pleased about that. So 3rd and 3 turns into 3rd and 8, and the clock runs. 4:30 to go, third quarter. Father Ryan trails by 24 points. NBA brings 5. Tapscott throws. It's a dangerous pass. Tipped up into the air and incomplete. Nearly an interception. It was Jackson Hanna, the linebacker, is a verbal commit to play with the Nebraska Cornhuskers next year. Talented linebacker, also plays running back from time to time for the Big Red. So once again, Zach Wesnowski sets up the punt. And again, Cole Kreider to return for MBA. Standing at his own 48-yard line is Kreider. MBA plays back, not bringing any heat. It's a high kick. Kreider makes the fair catch right at the MBA 48-yard line. So a 32-yard punt. No return, so that's the net on that one for Wesnowski. 4:17 to go, third quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. And the Irish, if they can't turn things around here rather quickly, are in danger of not only losing but falling 0-3 in Division II AAA East Middle play. We'll actually spot the ball just to the NBA side of the 50. And that's where the Big Red will start again. I think about the Irish starting primarily from their own 20, if not further back. NBA once again with preferable field position, running 1st and 10 up the middle. And again, the ensemble running back cast, Dugan on the carry. The 5'10 senior. A 7-yard gain. Irish having trouble stopping the run here in this third quarter. Less than 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. NBA 31, Father Ryan 7. And with 20 seconds in the play clock, William Tyrone, after getting the play from the sideline, runs in, gives the play to his team. NBA will step to the line. Irish playing with 8 in the box, trying to stop the run, but it's a first down. Sam Dugan again. NBA with the capacity to just gash with this Father Ryan run defense. 5-6 yards a clip, if not more, the way it's been. 3:18 and counting, third quarter. NBA 31, Father Ryan 7. NBA with the ball at the Irish 35-yard line. The more that clock runs, the more it moves to the advantage of the Big Red. It's 2 receivers to the near side, and again, the double tight end look that they like so much at NBA. It's a 1st and 10 run. Cutting to the outside, flag comes in. This will be coming back in all likelihood. Spin move from Brendan Harris with a nice carry, but this one's coming back. Second time in this half that NBA's had a first down wiped out because of a penalty. So the infraction is holding 10 yards from the spot of the penalty and replay first down. So less than 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And while that will work to the benefit of Father Ryan, with the ball going back, they'll spot it at the Irish 42-yard line. Father Ryan still on a 24-point hole. And the clock is running again, 1st and 17. With holding, it's from the spot of the foul, so that's why you have the odd number there for first down. 1st and 17 from the Irish 42-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side. It's going to be a handoff to Dugan, Sam Dugan. A flag comes in late. Wait and see what this is. Nice tackle by Nick Watson. Maybe a tripping penalty or something. I'm trying to figure out what the referee was gesturing. So holding against MBA. Back-to-back holds. The Irish contend to accept this penalty as well. They'll replay first down, but MBA will have the ball further back than it started this drive. Actually, we'll have it at their own 48-yard line. But perhaps more importantly, the clock continues to run. 2:10 to go, third quarter. NBA leads 31-7 on the Irish. Again, a double tight end look for the Big Red. Another run up the middle. Patrick Wilk. Saw Hunter Hopkins in that area. It might have been Matthew Beacon as well. And we'll credit Hopkins with a stop from the corner position. That moves the ball to the Irish 45-yard line, so a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 20 for NBA. And Father Ryan's 45, they need to make it to the Irish 25-yard line to get a first down. In less than a minute and a half to go here in this third quarter. NBA is going to send Mendoza and Kreider, the receivers, out to that far side. Single back set, and again, a heavy dose of the run. 3 or 4 yard gain on that one. Keeps the clock moving. That was Patrick Wilk on the carry. So Forrest Engler and Anthony Wright in there, at least close to the tackle. Several players in that area. 45 seconds and counting. 3rd down and 16 for NBA from the Irish 41-yard line. You would figure, usually at least, this is 4-down territory, but with a 24-point lead, perhaps NBA will see it a different way. It's a play fake. Tyrone, he's going to run with it now. And it'll be brought down after getting past the line of scrimmage and maybe a 1-yard gain. Tyrone didn't have anybody open. Did the smart thing. As the clock continues to tick, it'll be 4th down for NBA, but not until we reach the 4th quarter. Ball spotted at the Irish 36-yard line. So that will do it for the third quarter as NBA builds on its 10-point halftime lead. Your score after 3, Montgomeryville Academy 31, Father Ryan 7. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. What's the score? 40. The score. Okay. Still third? Okay. Yeah, they got a running clock now, I guess. All right. That's why I keep the master down. So we start the fourth quarter here at Montgomeryville Academy's Tommy Owens Stadium. Lou Pickney with you here on the call. We have Owen Dougharty from behind the crest back up here at some point. So 4th and 9 for MBA at the Irish 36-yard line. Or excuse me, the 34-yard line. They need to make it to the 25. It's a play fake. Tyrone, Chase is going to be sacked. David Russell, belly to back suplex to the ground. Russell has shown an ability from the 3-4 defensive end position, which is normally a run stuffer spot, that he is adept enough getting past double teams, getting past, guys trying to chip off him, to get into the backfield. And with the way the game has changed, by and large, being a pass first or passing inclination type of sports, the way it's changed, that is an invaluable trait to have, particularly at higher levels. So another good play for David Russell's highlight reel right there, and that forces the turnover on downs. Irish will start 1st and 10 from their own 40. 11:49 to go, 4th quarter. Father Ryan trails by 24 points. It's going to be a handoff. Antonio Wright runs into Jackson Hanna and a couple other players for NBA.
Up by Jordan Turks. 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 from the 42-yard line.
We'll credit the other outside linebacker, Jordan Turks, 5'11", 160-pound junior. The stop after the 2-yard gain for the Irish. Father Ryan's going to spread it out again. 4 receivers, 3 to the far side. Tabscott, with only 3 defenders rushing him, he's going to run with it. Be about 2 yards shy. Oh, it was Seamus in there, I should say. Got to watch those quarterbacks. Without a TV number on their shoulder, it can be a little tricky to see who's in, who's out. So Seamus with this running ability. It's 3rd and a long one. Irish need to get just past the 50-yard line to get a first down. But the clock continues to run. 10:46 to go, 4th quarter. Father Ryan looking at a bunch formation here. And we have a flag, and this may be on Father Ryan. It appeared they were trying to get NBA to move into the neutral zone. And I've lost count of how many false starts / procedure penalties that's been against that Irish offense tonight. This NBA defense is good when you're not committing penalties. When you do, it makes it even more difficult. So 3rd and a long 1 turns into 3rd and a long 6. And the clock keeps running. 10:29 to go, 4th quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. So on 3rd and 7 will be Irish. 2 receivers on either side. We have a whistle. About as close as you can get to a whistle before the snap. And it was a timeout by MBA. So they have 2 timeouts remaining. Father Ryan still has its full complement. But the Irish down by 3 scores in like 10 minutes and 17 seconds to get back into this one. A few scores of interest. Brentwood High has taken the lead on Ravenwood, 21-14. Brentwood High leads the Raptors of Ravenwood. Ravenwood will be posting Father Ryan next week. Other scores of interest, Macaulay now up 30-0 at Ensworth. This is a Macaulay team that NBA roughed up pretty well down in Chattanooga, at least from the video I was able to find online. Easier said than done, as I've noted earlier. It's now, it's 48-0 now. Brentwood Academy over West Toronto Prep. Try and find a Baylor JP2 score during the next break. If Baylor loses that, they'll fall to 1-4. 3rd and 7 for the Irish after the NBA timeouts. They throw to the far side, incomplete. Tabscott tried to get it there quickly. Or check that, it was Seamus. Seamus back in there at quarterback. Michael Linehan, the intended receiver. So here's what Father Ryan's looking at. 4th and 7 from their own 43-yard line. They trail 31-7 to the Irish. 10 minutes, 13 seconds to go, and Father Ryan's lined up to go for it. Late sub for NBA. It's going to be a quick kick. Seamus O'Connell so good at that. Nobody back for NBA. It'll bounce at the inside the 15, inside the 10. Can the Irish get to it and stop it? And it goes in for a touchback. Just barely, but the ball crossed the plane of the end zone. That's twice tonight Father Ryan's had a punt that they nearly managed to stop. That one very close, but sometimes wins and losses are determined by a margin of inches in this game. So MBA will get the ball at its own 20-yard line, leading Father Ryan 31-7. 10 minutes, 3 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. They actually have speakers set up on the track for the student section here for MBA. It's very loud and very annoying, at least if you're on my side of things. So here we go, 1st and 10 for MBA from its own 20-yard line. Be a handoff up the middle. They've had a lot of luck with that tonight. A 6 or 7 yard gain. So that was Brendan Harris on the run. Nick Watson, strong safety on the stop for the Irish, but an 8-yard gain for MBA. 2nd and 2 for the Big Red football team at their own 28-yard line. The clock continues to roll. 9:30 to go, fourth quarter. MBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. Irish will stuff the middle. This time running back's going to kick to the outside. That's Harris. He has a first down. Finally stopped at the MBA 34-yard line. NBA, as they've been doing for the entire game, rotating in running backs. Harris gets the first down. Sam Dugan goes in. Here's NBA as a change at quarterback. Cole Turner into the game. He's a senior, 6'1", 175. Go under center and hand it off. Father Ryan having a tough time tackling Sam Dugan. Dugan picks up 8. Cole Turner hasn't played just a whole lot this season. Tyrone is a junior. William Tyrone, their starting quarterback. But Turner and then Hunter Birch as well, both seniors. They're both backing up Tyrone. 2nd and 1, they'll say, after a 9-yard carry. The ball at the Big Red 43-yard line. Father Ryan loads up the box. But again, it's a run for a first down. Sam Dugan brings the ball into Father Ryan territory. And again from the corner position, Grayson Hubbock making the tackle. Less than 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. So with 9 seconds on the play clock, NBA taking its time, and understandably so, with a 24-point lead. Another handoff, another run up the middle. Duke going to pick up about 5 yards. The sophomore defensive end, Amari Chapman, on the stop for the Irish. So a 6-yard gain for Dugan on that run, Sam Dugan. 7 minutes to go, fourth quarter. NBA leads Father Ryan 31-7. Big Red leading at 2nd and 4 from the Irish 41-yard line with that double tight end look. Turner understandably is going to go for a quarterback sneak instead of a handoff. Kicking to the outside. Brendan Harris on the run. And that will move the chains. Nick Watson on the stop. Father Ryan, play after play, seeing defensive backs having to make stops. Just the difficulty of stopping this potent NBA rushing attack. First and 10 for NBA from the Father Ryan 37-yard line. Cole Turner, the quarterback. And again, a tight formation as NBA is just going to be content to keep running the ball. Harris up the middle. the sophomore William Edmondson on the stop.
6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4.
Key player for the Irish at free safety. So these defensive backs have been all but forced to play up and try and stop the run, but NBA will now try and spread it out a little bit. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. 5:35 to go. 4th quarter, we have a whistle. And looks like a false start against NBA.
Procedure against NBA, 5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
So it's a procedure penalty. We have a final. McCauley has beaten Innsworth. It's actually 29-0. The 30-0, I got somebody, I guess, presumed the extra point that didn't happen. Immaterial, though, to the final. So McCauley moves to 4-1. Their only loss was to this NBA team. And Innsworth drops to 3-2. So 2nd and 9 for NBA from the Irish 36. It's a run to the near side. This could be trouble. Sam Dugan to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Montgomery Bell Academy. So when Father Ryan loaded up the box, the middle between the tackles, and Dugan kicked it to the outside, got a hole. And the route is on. 37-7 NBA with an extra point pending and 5:01 to play. For as good as things look 15 seconds in, the long touchdown pass that started things off for the Irish. Been all NBA since then. So they're going to send Masad, the normal kicker, to the sideline.
Andrew Valderino in to attempt the extra point.
Andrew Bulgari on the extra point, up and good. Bulgari is a sophomore, 5'8", 165, so NBA letting some of the second stringers get into the action. A 31-point lead for the Big Red. This was a game that I expected to be a defensive battle. That's just not the way it's played out. Credit to NBA and especially its running attack, been quite stout. So Owen Dougharty joining me back here in the booth. Trying to look at a Baylor JP2 score here. Well, this is interesting. Baylor now leads JP2. It's 15-7 Baylor, at least as of 15 minutes ago. So yeah, that's a change of things there in Hendersonville. He's going to kick it off again. This will be returnable from the 3 to the 5 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. So for once, or the second time in this game, it doesn't reach the end zone NBA kickoff.
It was definitely a better kickoff than last time around. His better return, you know, Father Ryan not really had some trouble when it comes to special teams in this game and ball position.
Yeah, that was the thing. The one return they had, they were stopped at their own 10-yard line on the return. So. And
then, you know, penalties and backups and just not really being able to run the ball. Now Father Ryan offense will come out once again. 4:55 left here in the 4th quarter here in West End Avenue.
Carrying forward to the game as there's a trouble to snap. Ball's bouncing into the end zone. And it's going to be an NBA touchdown.
And that's just salt to the wound into this game. Something we thought was going to be a defensive battle has turned quite ugly here in the second half.
So it's a touchdown for NBA, a defensive score after trouble with the snap by DC Tabscott. Irish try to pick up the ball. If they had jumped into the end zone, it would have been a safety, but in this case, it's a touchdown. We've reached the point of a running clock. 44-7 NBA with an extra point coming up right now. Extra point is up and good. Andrew Bulgari 2 for 2 on extra points. So Owen, that makes it 45-7 for Father Ryan. This is after that great start. Things went downhill for Father Ryan in this one. So I don't know if we're going to know before this broadcast is over the outcome of this Brentwood High-Ravenwood game. Because really for the Irish at this point, that's what to look forward to the next upcoming game. This one's out of hand at this point. Either way, even if it's a 4 or 5-0 or a 4-1 Ravenwood team, either way.
Either way, it's going to be an interesting game.
It'll be a challenge. But 4:38 remains here, although that clock's going to be running once they kick it off.
Although I think one of the interesting aspects is, of this season in particular, it's been a weird schedule. You started out with 3 August home games, and then your first 2 road games are your 2 biggest games of the year. Your 2 biggest opponents in JP2 at the Bishop's Cup and the old arch rival that, a one-sided rivalry according to now, but, that's a tough schedule. That's a tough way to play 3 hot games at home only to go on the road and just lose 2 heartbreakers.
Yeah, and you think about last year, what were supposed to be 3 road games to start the season. It's tough putting those schedules together. A lot of factors go into it as a line drive kickoff, trouble with the return, but to the 25. Except around the 24-yard line on the return. One of the upmen for Father Ryan. So Evan Ruers on the return. Ruers had that big catch late in regulation against JP2 last week. Hasn't been as much in the action today on the passing game. And that's in large part because DC Tabscott, being flushed from the pocket, running for his life, hasn't necessarily been in a spot to throw to him.
Yeah, DC's really, I've been impressed with the way he's moved out of the pocket. I think this will be his biggest test of the year, other than possibly McCauley, when it comes to him having to be mobile and try to make plays happen. And unfortunately, it hasn't worked out here tonight, Lou.
On 1st and 10, the handoff, Amarian Ford. And he got stood up right at that line of scrimmage. Foster Edwards into the game on the stop for MBA. Second and 10, 3:18 and counting with a running clock. MBA leads Father Ryan 45-7. Again, handoff to Ford. He'll find a seam on that far side. Spun around for about a 3-yard gain. On the carry. Down by Matthew Fox.
I believe I'm trying to think here. I believe he is a transfer from Donaldson Christian.
Oh, is that right?
Along with Cedric Polens, the sophomore. I believe those are the 2 DCA transfers.
Ford's just a freshman. So Irish are hoping to see more from him in the coming years, I would imagine. 3rd and 7 on a running clock. 2:35 to go 4th quarter. NBA leads 45-7. Tabscott's going to air it deep. Has a receiver there, and it's falling incomplete. Kind of just heaved that one up there, hoping to catch Michael Linehan open.
That was really one of the best opportunities Father Ryan's had tonight. The NBA secondary has played outstanding, and their coverage has been everywhere. They've been everywhere, Lou.
That's the thing I noted when we were out of the booth there for a minute, Owen, was that all the seniors in their secondary for NBA. And that does make it tough, especially when Big Red are so adept at stopping the run as they've been tonight. So on 4th and 7, Father Ryan will punt the ball. It's a high punt. Player for Father Ryan got decked. Don't know what that was all about. Matthew Stone just trying to get downfield, and he got waylaid. He's okay. He's leaving the field on his own power, but we'll see what this flag is.
That's just unnecessary. You're up 35 points. There's up 2 minutes left, and you just do something stupid right there. It's poor sportsmanship.
Well, it depends. I caught the play toward the tail end of it.
Well, I was paying attention, just looking up for what was going on, and that was a defenseless hit. That's just stupid. It's absolutely stupid at this point in the game.
Although I don't know if you saw last week the player for JP2 that speared Seamus in the chest.
I was down there on the sideline since we weren't doing a broadcast. And I got the back end zone view of that. That was targeting. He should have been ejected. It was a terrible call for only a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. That was targeting, and I don't know what the rules are here in this high school league, but that was worthy of an ejection in any other level of this sport.
There was no need for it. And I thought it was almost like a fitting turn of events in overtime on third down. That same player started cramping up mid-play with Nick Watson open for the back of the end zone, but passed it a little too far, and Irish able to turn that into a touchdown. So now 45-7, less than a minute to go.
This will most likely be our last play, Lou.
NBA's probably just going to take a knee or two here, and then as we have a whistle. Clock keeps running either way. This probably should be the last play. NBA's just going to kneel it down in all likelihood. So NBA will take a knee.
Just another year to the record books for the Father Ryan NBA storied rivalry.
It was David DeRocher in there, quarterback at the very end for NBA. The clock ticks down, but it's immaterial. This game is over. NBA is going to win this one 45-7 over Father Ryan. And a game that started with so much promise. Owen absolutely fell apart for that first
After the
touchdown.
first 15 seconds, it went downhill from there.
Even at halftime, it was only a 10-point game. It was not unreasonable, but the way NBA came up.
I think our defense really held in there. And, like you said, senior secondary for NBA against a sophomore quarterback.
That's true.
We saw his age a little bit today, and that's part of the learning experience. For the future, this is probably a game that is going to be good for him 2 years down the road when he will be back here at Montgomery Bell Academy as a senior.
You would think so, although it's hard to know for sure. Father Ryan could play back here next year because it's sort of a 2-year cycle.
You never know.
Well, because NBA played at Father Ryan the last 2 years. Okay, an update on the Baylor JP2 game. We're not going to have the final before we're done here because JP2 just tied it up. I guess they were down 15-7, a touchdown, 2-point conversion, 15 all on that one. So check whatever sources you have to find that score, and we'll have more for you on that next week. So anything else, Owen?
Hey, we hope to see you out in the backwoods of Williamson County for Ravenwood next week, and after that at our homecoming.
That's right.
Home at home against Ensworth. But
exactly.
if not, remember, you can always catch us on here unless there's a MyTV30 broadcast that boots us out.
Oh, and to be clear, it wasn't my TV's fault. It's just they changed the rules at JP2 and wouldn't let us on the roof. But, that's their place, their rules, so be it. So, final score from here, NBA 45, Father Ryan 7. Irish play 1 week from tonight at Ravenwood. So, for Owen Dougharty, everybody from behind the Crest, ATW Sportscast, I'm Lou Pickney saying so long. Your final score, NBA 45, Father Ryan 7.